How many hearts kept beating just because yours didn't stop? You'll probably never hear them say it. They'll never admit it. But the truth is, you're the reason they didn't give up. Drop a comment if something in your spirit already knows this is true. When God places a chosen one on earth, He doesn't make a big announcement. There's no spotlight, no ceremony. Instead, He hides them in plain sight. Until one day, your presence becomes the only thing holding somebody together. You didn't ask to be their strength, but you were. You didn't plan to be their light, but you are. And here's the thing nobody tells you about being chosen. It's lonely, it's heavy. You'll feel overlooked by the world while quietly carrying its weight. You're the strong one, the understanding one, the one who listens when nobody else does, the one who gives and keeps giving even when you're running on empty. You've been the safe place for people drowning in storms you never created. You've answered late-night calls. You've dried tears that weren't yours. You've smiled through your own pain just to make someone else laugh. And still, they don't say it. They don't say thank you for holding me when I was falling apart. They don't say your presence was the anchor that kept me from drifting. They don't say I stayed because I saw how you kept going. But on behalf of everyone who didn't have the words, thank you. Thank you for staying kind in a world that made you question your worth. Thank you for choosing love when anger would have been easier. Thank you for walking with grace when bitterness called your name. You're the reason someone kept going. You might not realize this, but when people get near you, something inside them settles. It's like peace walks into the room. It's not something you force, it's just who you are. And that's exactly why you were chosen. Not because you were perfect, not because you had it all figured out, but because you could be trusted to keep showing up, even broken. You've been through your own storms. Some people would have collapsed under half of what you carried, but you didn't fold. You didn't quit. You adapted. You transformed. And somewhere along the way, you became the miracle in someone else's life. You walk into rooms and shift atmospheres. You speak, and hearts soften. You pray, and mountains move. You break generational curses just by being who you are. Even when they ignore you, mock you, or misunderstand you, your spirit speaks louder than their words. Do you ever feel like people are drawn to you but don't know why? It's because your energy carries truth. You walk in a frequency this world forgot how to hear. But the right ones, they feel it. The broken ones, the tired ones, the ones who were one silent thought away from ending it all. Until your light hit them. You didn't even notice what you did. Maybe it was a smile. Maybe it was the way you listened. Or maybe it was just your presence, unshaken, warm, divine. That's why this message had to find you today. Because somebody watching this right now thinks they're unseen. Someone's giving everything and feeling like it doesn't matter. But it does. You matter. You're needed. Someone is breathing easier because you kept breathing. Every heartbreak you went through created depth. Every betrayal gave you discernment. Every silent night taught you how to hear God's whisper. You've been molded in fire, but you didn't burn. You became light, and now your life is a lighthouse. Even if you feel forgotten, forsaken, pushed aside, your life is not in vain. Your purpose is still unfolding. Your story is still saving others. Don't underestimate the seeds you've planted just by existing, the comfort you gave in passing, the wisdom you spoke at the right time. These things echo in souls. These things heal in silence. If this message touched something in you, if you've ever felt unseen while being everyone's support, type, "I receive this" in the comments. Let it be your declaration. Let it be your agreement with heaven that you will not dim your light, that you're done questioning your value, that you understand you are chosen for real. Share this with someone you know who's always the strong one. Because even the strong need a reminder. They don't say it, but you're the reason they're still standing. Never forget that. And here's what most people don't realize. Being chosen doesn't always feel like a blessing at first. It can feel like a burden. Because before you get to walk in the reward, you walk through the breaking, through isolation, through people walking away, through confusion, silence, and spiritual warfare that no one sees but you. You've had moments where you questioned everything. Moments where your own reflection didn't look familiar anymore. When the pain, the disappointment, the delay, it felt like maybe God had forgotten you. People looked at your silence and thought you had nothing to say. But they didn't know what was being built inside you during those quiet hours. They didn't hear the prayers you whispered through tears. They didn't see the decisions you made when no one was watching, when it would have been easier to give up. And still, you stayed faithful. You kept going. You kept showing up. You kept believing, even when the evidence wasn't there. That's what makes you different. Not your success, not your words, not your talent, but your endurance, your heart, your resilience. That's the mark of the chosen. And it's why God is about to do something so undeniable in your life. It'll silence every lie ever spoken about you. You didn't lose. You were preserved, hidden, protected. And now everything is shifting. Do you feel it? That tug in your spirit. That divine pull to move different. That sense that something greater is aligning, even if you can't see it yet. You're not crazy. You're not imagining it. You're awakening. This isn't just motivation. This is confirmation. The heaviness you've been feeling, it's because your spirit knows breakthrough is near. The isolation, it's because not everyone can walk where you're about to go. The sudden urge to let go of old habits, old friends, old ways of thinking, that's because elevation is calling. And you've answered. You've outgrown places you once begged to be accepted in. You've stopped explaining your value. You've stopped chasing people who couldn't see your worth. You've learned that not everyone deserves access to your spirit. And that's growth. You're not bitter. You're not hard. You're wise now. And wisdom is what separates the chosen from the crowd. You walk with a knowing, a quiet power, a sacred fire. People feel it when you walk into a room. They may not know what it is, but they feel something shift. That's not ego. That's alignment. That's what it feels like to walk with God's hand on your life. And now, the reward. Not just money, not just success, but peace, wholeness, divine connections. Open doors you didn't even knock on. Rooms you were excluded from, now inviting you in. Purpose that ignites every part of your soul. This is the season where what was hidden will be revealed. And when they ask how it happened, you won't need to explain. They'll know. They'll feel it. They'll remember how they overlooked you, and they'll see why God didn't. So stay ready, stay rooted, stay humble, and stay open. The ones who tried to bury you didn't know you were a seed. And now, you're rising. If you feel this, if it resonates deep in your soul, if you know you're in the middle of this transformation, drop a comment below. I was hidden, but now I rise. Let this be your agreement with what's unfolding. You've made it through what tried to destroy you. Now, it's time to become what you were always meant to be. You've come this far not by accident, but by design. Your life has never been random, even in the moments where nothing made sense. Even when you questioned everything, even when the silence felt louder than any answer, something deeper was happening. You weren't just surviving, you were being shaped, rewired, realigned with something eternal. And now, everything that tried to block your purpose is losing power. Every lie spoken over your name is dissolving. Every delay is turning into divine timing. The weight you've carried, it's lifting. The fog is clearing. Your spirit is remembering why it came here. You didn't come just to exist. You came to change things, to heal, to break generational curses, to be a living testimony of what God can do through someone who refuses to quit, refuses to bow to fear, and refuses to let their story end in defeat. You were chosen for impact. Not everyone will understand your path. That's okay. They weren't supposed to. Not everyone will cheer for you. That's okay too. Your assignment isn't about applause. It's about alignment. And the ones who feel this right now, you're not alone. Look in the comments, read their words. You'll see family, soul tribe, people who've walked through fire just like you and still kept their hearts soft. So if this message reached you, it's time to rise. Drop a comment below. Tell us what part of this message hit you the hardest. Let the universe, let God, let your future self know you're in, you're ready, You're claiming this shift with your whole chest. Say it out loud. I'm aligned, I'm ready, and I receive it. Because speaking, it activates it. Faith isn't passive, it's action. And if this video moved something in you, don't just click away. Don't just keep scrolling. Share this with someone else who needs it. Be the sign for someone else, like this message was a sign for you. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Not because we're chasing numbers, but because we're building something real here. A place where the chosen can gather.